Nanso, what's going on? I couldn't hear music. Blue, but tonight, battered and bruised, up against the ropes. And can Edmonton deliver the knockout blow tonight? We get you set for Game 6 between the Oilers and the Kings on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live on location. Canadian Icehouse in Ice District, packed in here. Good vibes on this lovely Thursday. How you doing, everybody? Tom Gazzola with you. Hernan Salas back at EST Global HQ. Got Dennis Bernstein just finishing up his dinner, and he'll be stopping by in a few minutes' time. And then Reid Wilkins will also slide in. He's in for Cass. Cass is at the the Hockey Helps the Homeless draft tonight. Great cause there. Cass will be by for the post-game show. Of course, you can text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. And we want to hear from you. Hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This series is tied, the Oilers are up after they broke the tie. Edmonton looking to finish things off. All right, GCL Diesel, I should mention, two providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Latino Heat, how we doing today?
We are good, my friend. I want to apologize. You're on screen. We could hear all the music and everything down here, but the mics on Wirecast sometimes turn themselves off, so we have to re-add it. That's what happened.
Hey,
Tommy.
No need to apologize. No need to give away secrets.
A lot of people got to see you for a good minute there.
Call it a preview. I was just like, I can't hear anything. I was just going to wait till we get it figured out. Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
It didn't click in until 30 seconds in. I'm like, I don't think he can hear us because I
couldn't hear a thing.
Now.
Well, that's why we restarted. We get it done. We get a clean opening to the show. So that's how we get it done. All right. I want to send a shout out to Atif is here. I heard his awful song this morning. Oh my goodness. We gotta like really cut back on the Atif songs.
On the Atif content.
I love like that one today. I don't know. It always sounds like he's under his covers and he's singing so his parents or his roommates don't hear him, you know? Yeah, and he's here with Francis. They do their Dill Pickle podcast at Selly's down at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, or formerly Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, now known as Selly's. And anyway, just want to give Francis and Atif a shout out. They're here with some other friends. It's a great time. Beautiful day here at Edmonton, and what better scenario than to put the Kings away than on a lovely spring day in oil country, Nancito. How are you feeling about this one?
You know what? I didn't want to. I didn't want to guarantee or be that confident, but I'll say this: I think the Oilers close it out. I have a good feeling today. I think everything's gonna work out for them. Just the way they're playing, the momentum they have. I know people say momentum doesn't shift game to game. It did from game 5 to game 4. From game 4 to game 5.
Yes.
I think the Oilers are just rolling. I think they're calm. I think they're composed. They've been here, done this. They know what to anticipate today. I think the pressure, obviously, the Kings, I don't know if they're feeling it. They're pros too.
Yes.
And talking to Cass and Gage and Belzy, they're like, pros don't feel that. Like they feel it to a certain extent, but they're well-oiled machines. So I am intrigued to see what the Kings bring and what Hiller does with this lineup, man, because before the series, all we heard was depth. The Kings have depth. If they did, Tommy, they wouldn't be running 9 guys and 4 defensemen for the most part of it. And I'm a Jordan Spence guy. I like Brant Clark. It blows my mind he won't play them more. Up front, I understand it a little bit more because the 3 guys could hurt you, especially on the road. But overall, Tom, I'm expecting a good night for the Edmonton Oilers.
Let's see if they can get it done. Good vibes in the locker room today when it came to the Oilers. Not as friendly, a little frostier when it came to the Kings. All right, we're going to get to the starting lineups. Brought to you, as always, by our friends at South Fort Chev. Buy now and save 0% financing, OAC, up to 72 months, or save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. And it's also the time of year you should have your seasonal tire change taken care of if you haven't yet. Mention that EST sent you and receive an on-rim tire change for $59.95 plus tax. And they're also giving big discounts on inspections when you get your tires changed. See dealer for details, www.southfortchev.com. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. Chris Knobloch rolling with the same group that got the job done in Game 5. That was McDavid with Nugent, Hopkins, and Hyman. Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Henrique between Kane and Brown. Janmark with Frederick and Perry. We'll see if anything changes there. Nurse with Emerson. Kulak with Bouchard, Wallman, and Klingberg. No Skinner, no Kapanen, no Jones, no Ryan, no Troy Stetcher. People I know were asking about Troy Stetcher. I had somebody today, Hernan, ask me. They gave me like Darnell Nurse's shot share in this series.
Oh boy!
And they're like, are they gonna scratch him? Like, are you ridiculous?
Yeah.
Are you ridiculous? Who are they gonna put in? Who? Troy Stetcher? Get out of here with that noise.
Listen, has Darnell Nurse been his regular season himself? No. But has he been terrible? No. He's been good.
He's been mopping up Evan Bouchard's mistakes.
Exactly.
Throw that shot share out the window. Thank you.
Like that shot share, you have to put it into context. Who's on the ice? Where are the shots coming from? Do you know what I mean? Like, and listen, we got asked today about Stetcher too, and I said, who are you taking off for Stetcher right now?
Who?
Like,
Emerson?
Like, this team's won 3 in a row. They're not making any changes for Stetcher, guys.
Let's be rational about this. Anyway, I read that they replied, and I was like, what a stupid take.
Yeah, Darnell Nurse is not coming out of lineup, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting frustrated. I apologize to that person for that one. But, like, did we think before we replied to me? No. Happens to the best of us. Don't worry. I'm guilty of it, too. Anyway, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Let's finish up the lineups here. For the Kings, we'll confirm. DB, any changes for the Kings? No. So Kopitar with Kuzmenko and Kempe. Byfield with Fiala and Laferriere. Deneau with Fogle and Moore. Hellenius with Malott and Turcotte. On defense, Anderson with Doughty. Gavrikov with Spence. Edmondson with Clark. No Thomas, no Burrows, no Turcotte, no Mo Verare. Your starting goalies for tonight, 33-year-old Calvin Pickard, 3-0 with a 262 GA, 904 save percentage in 4 games in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. He's got a 4-1 record lifetime in the postseason with a 246 GAA, 908 save percentage in 7 Stanley Cup playoff games. Then you got Darcy Kemper getting the nod. He was excellent the other night in LA, couldn't get the job done. I mean, you can't ask him to score goals. He did everything but score the goals for the Kings, for crying out loud. He was excellent. The 34-year-old, 2-3 this postseason, 344 GAA, 899 save percentage in 5 games in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. He has a 2-3 record versus the Oil lifetime in the postseason with a 370 goals against average, 892 save percentage and 6 playoff appearances versus Edmonton. That brings us to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sports Medicine. Book your assessment today at www.advantagesportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. For the Edmonton Oilers, Matthias Ekholm, lower body. Do not anticipate him to be back. He's not going to be back this round. I know some people are speculating he could be back and he's progressed well, but I don't think he's going to come back. If he does, that'd be wonderful. I just hope, for the sake of everybody, Ekholm mostly, that he's sure that his body's going to be able to hold up and he's going to be okay. Alec Regula, he's been on the IR the whole year since the Oilers picked him up from Boston with that knee issue. Tore up his knee last year. As for the Kings, Tanner Jeannot, he has been listed as day-to-day. All right, text us your thoughts. We're going to get to the question of the night from the Latino Heat. We're going to go inside the Oilers locker room. Then we'll bring Bernstein on. DB is standing by. But Nancito, what do you got for question of the night?
Okay, let's have some fun, Tommy.
Okay.
The question, I'm going to give you 4 options, and you can only select 4 options. I know a lot of you might have something else, but I want these 4 options. From these 4 options, what has led to the Oilers' turnaround in this series? 1, Chris Knobloch. 2, Jim Hiller. You like that one, eh?
I do like that, yeah.
3, Kane and Klingberg. 4, Calvin Pickard. Let us know, 780-218-9999, or hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Tom, of those 4, I don't want to hear other. I want to hear from one of those 4, Tom, what you got for me.
I'll just go number 2, Jim Hiller. I laughed when he brought it up, but I think, listen, man, he's under the gun. I know that. Pressure's on, all that stuff. But the mistakes he has made have been costly. And it helped the Oilers garner confidence and take advantage. And it led to wins for Edmonton, directly and indirectly. So I'm going to go with Jim Hiller. He was very good today. He was contrite with DB the other day, which is good. The boys, I like how you were talking, they had to look up what contrite meant, right? yeah, that was funny. So it means like you feel sorrow and you feel bad. But him and DB have made up, as you heard on the pregame show the other night. To me, Nanso, it's Jim Hiller. How about you?
Yeah, I think I'll just to be different. I think Kane, who's been outstanding, and Klingberg, who's been one hell of a pleasant surprise, Tom. Let's just call it how it is. None of us saw this coming. He's been great. I know he had a couple blunders, but it didn't cost the team. But I think those 2 guys just brought an element from the back end with Klingberg. He moves the puck quick, and then Kane brings the physicality. He's scoring. He's mucking it up. He's doing it all. So I'm gonna go with the 2 guys that joined the team later in the series, Evander Kane and John Klingberg.
All right, we got this one already from Schmokey the Bear. H after the S on Schmokey the Bear says 2, definitely Hiller. Keep those coming in, 780-218-9999. It's the question of the night via the Latino Heat. One more time, Nanso, before we go to Calvin Pickard here.
What has led to the turnaround for the Edmonton Oilers in this series? And you can only go with Hernan's 4 options. Chris Knobloch, Jim Hiller, number 2. Number 3, Kane and Klingberg. Number 4, Calvin Pickard. Let us know.
All right, text us, 780-218-9999. Get to the Nasty Chat as well. We want to hear from you. Maple syrup skid mark. Oh, gross. Says Klinger. Boob says Picks. And then Induced Comics says Klingberg has been amazing. We'll read those as we roll along. We're going to go inside the Oilers locker room. Let's hear from goalie Calvin Pickard looking to close out the LA Kings tonight. He's been pretty solid in his time in relief of Stu Skinner. And then when we come back, Dennis Bernstein will be joining us. Let's go to Pickard.
Right there on the ice, there seems to be a good vibe in here. How would you describe where this team's at right now?
Yeah, obviously last game we did what we set out to do, and just one game though we're looking to replicate that effort and do what we did last game tonight.
In your mind, what would you say to people is the key to having success against LA? What you guys need to build on?
Skating, rolling all 4 lines. You saw it for a full 60 minutes last game, top to bottom. Everybody did their job. We kept the shift short. We kind of swarmed them in the O-zone, cycled the puck, and took pucks to the net. And, it could have been, a wider result for sure. We could have scored some more goals, but we didn't. And it was a really good lockdown performance at the end. But looking to do the exact same things tonight.
Calvin, how much does momentum matter in the playoff series?
Yeah, I feel like it's on our side right now, but it can change quickly. We can't let our foot off the gas. Start tonight's huge for sure. We want to get off to a good start. Like we did last game. We didn't score, but we played really well in the first period, and definitely want to get behind our fans here, have our fans there for us, and build off that.
You came in at a pretty high pressure series. Like that pressure for yourself, you had fun with it?
Yeah, no, it's been great for sure. High pressure. I mean, pressure is what you make of it. I feel like every game I've played for the last couple of years is pressure on myself, but I can't stray away from what makes me successful and what makes our team successful. So just took it one game at a time. Obviously had some ups and downs, game 3, game 4, and found a way to find a win at the end of the night. But yeah, tonight's no different than last game. We want to set out. We got a game plan and execute it.
Kelvin Leon's up for the Hart Memorial. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, he's. I can't think of anyone more deserving. He had an unbelievable season. He's an incredible player and a great friend too. So not surprised one bit. Every night he shows up. He does all the little things. He's as clutch as can be, and he's huge for our team.
Is it a little bit wild just to be having that conversation with a teammate of Connor McDavid's?
For sure. I mean, we got two of the best players in the world, and it's so nice to be on their side rather than playing against them. And they're two great friends, great players, but even better people. And it's fun to be on their team.
All right, there's Calvin Pickard getting the start tonight. Great friends. He talks about great friends, Leon and Connor. Great friend right here, Dennis Bernstein. Welcome back, DB.
It's great to be back, Tom. I think Cal set the record in that audio of the most cliches this playoff season.
That's incredible because all we get is cliches most of the time. Actually, you didn't come in for Chris Knobloch, did you?
I did not. No.
No, that was one of the first times where he kind of showed a bit of personality. Now, it was very, very subdued, as he is.
Right.
But he actually showed a little bit of personality. But I'll throw the question of the night out there to you because we asked our audience about it, and we've got some great responses already.
Sure.
Hernan, the Latino, he wanted to know what has been the biggest difference maker. Hernan, am I saying that right?
For the Oilers to the Oilers turnaround in this series.
Yeah, give it to Dennis here because I want to.
One, Chris Knobloch. 2, Jim Hiller. 3, Kane and Klimberg. 4, Calvin Pickard.
What would you say?
I'll go off the board. 90 and 91. Perry and Kane.
Wow.
Early, Kane late. Kane has taken Kempe out of his game the last 2-3 games. Kempe's focused on hitting or getting hit by Kane and not scoring goals, and it's been effective. So I think because you know what? Connor and Leon haven't killed games. They haven't crushed it. They haven't look, going to score. They score moments every game, but they have been those dominant players. And Cal Pickard, you put up the numbers. I think he's 908 save percentage.
Yep.
So they haven't been goalie. It's been a really, really weird series as we get to Game 6 tonight, Tom. So I think that I think it's the depth. And going in, everybody said, or at least in LA, we have the deeper team.
But they're the one rolling 9 forwards. That's the team rolling 9 forwards, yeah. It's been interesting. I went with Jim Hiller, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they can't be that upset at me because I am going on their pregame show at 7:35, so they can't be too upset with me because people asked, are you okay with the kid? I was on with Scott Farrell. Are they mad at you? I'm like, no, they're not mad at me. As a matter of fact, Luke Robitaille today had to look up the word contrite in the dictionary because that's what I tweeted when after Jim made amends there before Game 5.
And the definition of contrite is?
Basically apologetic.
Apologetic, yes. Yeah. So, but Hiller I thought he was pretty good today. I thought
he was very good today. Yeah, he was composed.
Is he always animated? Because he seemed like he's a lot of hand talking.
Yes. Well, you were with Todd as well, right?
Right,
He's
yes.
very different than Todd. Todd's very stoic, very measured. Jim can be emotional, and I think that helps the team most of the time because it's a much looser team this year. Like the pictures that you see with the fireman's hat and the F1 hats every game. With Todd, I don't think that ever happened. So it's a looser team, I'm thinking a more connected team off the ice. But he got emotional after Game 4 when he shouldn't have, right? And but he's more measured because he admitted that he was transparent. That was a bad effort. In Game 5, it was bad. They played very poorly. And they do it again.
That's it.
No, that's it. They're going to be doing exit meetings in a couple of days.
Yeah. It's interesting how the tables have turned in this past week, and I'm a little bit surprised, but at the same time, it's like the Oilers do have a knack for getting better as series go on. The Kings, what would you say, and how would you assess them in these last 3?
Well, if you look at the statistics, they still favor the Kings. Right, one team got goalied in Game 5, and they won the game.
Yes,
right. Still, the Oilers have not led going into the third of any game. Right, so statistically, when you look at the numbers, they're winning the special teams battle still. Right, so what are they lacking? They're lacking the clutch team. Can't close it out. Couldn't close out 3. Couldn't close out 4. You got dominated in Game 5 for 2 periods, but it was 1-1.
Right,
score a goal, you win the game. Yeah, they haven't been big in a big spot. The Oilers have. The Oilers are finding a way to win. And you could say that the Kings are finding ways to lose.
That's a good way to put it. Dennis Bernstein joining us now from the 4th period. Our LA Kings insider. We're live on location at the Canadian Icehouse. DB, how was the dinner? Was it all right?
Excellent.
All right.
You know, I'm trying to change the Kings luck, though I really don't care. And I'll say one thing, John. I just realized, Tom.
What?
This will be the last appearance at the Icehouse till either June.
That's right.
The final or next season. So food was great. I switched over to chicken fingers. The salt and pepper wings are great as well. So always have a great time here, and the food's great.
I love how you cover the cup final because I was like, wait a sec, I'll still be working, son of a gun. But that would be a very happy oil country if we're talking with
I can never forget the aftermath of Game 6 in this city.
Oh my God, that was a great game from the Oilers. Yeah, that was a lot of fun
as well.
Okay, let's hone in on the Kings and the Oilers here. Sure. The difference in the locker rooms, like I went to both today. I know you focused on the Kings naturally. Very chipper in the Edmonton room, boisterous at times. And then I said kind of cold. And I described earlier on the Reid Wilkins show, like Warren Foegele and I got along very well in his time here in Edmonton. And I know he's been doing a lot of media, but I asked Sean May, who was the Oilers' old PR guy, I'm like, Mazer, can I talk to Fogs? And he's like, I'll ask, but he's been doing a lot. And he just looked at Sean. He's like, nope. I'm like, oh, it's all good. I'm like, hey, Warren, good to see you. And he's like, Tom, where were you during Game 3 and 4? Where were you in the off days? I'm like, I was on the air every one of those days. But I get it. And I get it. Like, do you think that's a bad sign that it was a little bit colder, more subdued in the Kings locker room?
Well, there's been tension since Game 1 because of the history or the lack of success historically by the Kings against the Oilers. And the air cleared the first 2 games, but now there's tension. Here's the difference. We mentioned how the Oilers are walking. This is a very emotional series for the Kings. This is not an emotional series for the Oilers. The Oilers expect to beat them and go on, like they have the other 3 seasons. So it's not very emotional. The Kings have got emotional. I think the emotions got best of them after game 4 because they were out of gas. And I asked Hiller that today. I said, after Game 5, a lot of people are writing you off, saying there's nothing left in the tank.
Yeah.
So they have to turn it around. But there's a lot more tension because, without question, tonight is the most significant game in Kings franchise history since they won the Cup in 14.
More than Game 5, obviously, right? I know we talked about that on the post-game show, too. Cass was listening, and he's like, and Hernan brought that up as well, that like the fact that we here in Edmonton wouldn't think of Game 5 the other night as the biggest playoff game in this franchise recent history since they won the Cup. But really, like, they haven't had bigger games. Would Game 7 of 2022 have been bigger? No, because there was no history here. It wasn't built up. Yeah. Right? And that was the Kings' first entree back to the playoffs. So they were playing with house money. Right. Now, I talked to Mike Anderson. He believes that they were the better team in 2022 when they went 7. But no, because now it's an accumulation of things. And now they started better whisper as well because of what Hiller did in the game coaching and then after the game.
And remember, he was the interim last year, and he's the full-time coach this year for the first season. But if he doesn't do the trick, he would have lost back-to-back seasons to the Oilers. So now there's some whispers.
That could be it?
That I don't think so. I think they've had a great season. They tied the franchise record for standing points, 105.
Yeah.
They found their offense. Kuzmenko lit up. They had 235 goal scorers. Fiala stopped being dumb and making mistakes with about 2 months to go. Adrian Kempe is now, again, a dangerous player. So he's done a lot of good for this team. But you know what? It's about winning. And I'm sure, Tom, it's not just about losing. It's about how you lose. And I think how they are losing this series, if it doesn't turn the other way, I think that might influence them, although they're not a very reactive organization, the Kings, when it comes to ownership and management. They don't have a guy like Steve Ballmer, who's a Clipper fan, who goes crazy at courtside.
Right.
It's a corporate entity that owns the Kings. I keep saying it's really a real estate company that owns a hockey team, right? They're a technical team. So I don't see anything because you know what? If you would have made a change, it would have been last year. You pull the trigger, you fire the coach. Coach, I'm surprised the coach got the job after losing in 5 last year. So it's a very pivotal thing. Now, do I think it's going to be a major cause for movement? No, because I still believe that Phil Anschutz and AEG, they love Luka Robitaille. Ruth still has faith in both Rob Blake and Jim Hiller. They will continue as general manager and coach.
Nancito.
What's up, DB? Good to see you again. We hope you're enjoying our wonderful city.
Always love being up here.
A couple of players I want to ask you about. Kuzmenko, I gave him player of the game in game 1. He was outstanding in the first 2 games. He's kind of tailed off. Now, a lot of people are asking us, did he get banged up, Dennis, or are his minutes being pulled back just because of the game situation? What are you seeing for Kuzmenko in these last 3? Because he's definitely tailed off from the first 2 games.
He's not been effective, Hernan. He's not hurt.
Okay.
He's not hurt. Just like with Jordan Spence. People wondered he's played 231. He was Is he hurt? No. Because the lights get brighter. Not everybody responds, and he hasn't responded, right? And so the fans in LA that wanted to give him like $6 million a year for 5 years at the end of March, I'm like, let's see what happens in the playoffs. And he was good in the first game. He's got a couple of goals, but the Oilers are making it difficult on him because the physicality are on the net, and they know what to do. They know how to get under the King's skin. He's one of the guys that hasn't been effective. As I mentioned, Kempe, as great as Kempe is, and he is great and certainly great against the Oilers, he hasn't been effective in the last 3 games either.
And that's the other guy I want to ask you about, DB. Kempe, who was outstanding. We call him here the Oiler killer because he always scores on the Oilers.
His numbers are great.
He's fallen off, too, the last couple of games. We saw him play defense in the 3rd period in Game 5, and now that was situational. They were looking for that goal and all that. But, he didn't stand out poorly. He's a fairly talented guy. Do you expect if this game, they're down late in the 3rd, we're going to see Kempe on the defense again?
Yeah, maybe. Sure. That's the one thing. That's the one big difference between McClellan and Hiller. Hiller is willing to experiment anytime, any place, if he thinks he can help the team win. And Todd he had a set lineup. He was going with him. He believes in his team. It's a different set of beliefs, right? Todd just wouldn't change. And that's why when they lost 13 out of 17 and Todd didn't change the line, that's why Todd's no longer Cushing here. But I will say one guy I mentioned at the top. Number 91 is putting number 9 off his game.
Yeah.
Evander Kane is getting under Kempe's skin. And Kempe's got to wise up to it and say, you know what, I can't let Evander after the whistle or whatever. I know that, look, one side said that knee hit was a bad hit. The other side says, no, he turned, right? But Adrian Kempe has to focus on scoring goals and winning this game, not Evander Kane.
Dennis Bernstein with us from the 4th period, live on location, Canadian Icehouse, getting ready for game number 6, Oilers and Kings. Edmonton has LA on the ropes. DB, how much, I was thinking while you were talking, how much do the LA Kings despise the Edmonton Oilers at this point, do you think?
Well, I know that nothing, short of winning a 3rd Stanley Cup, Drew Doughty would like nothing more than to beat the Edmonton Oilers. Right? When we talked about it down the stretch, and you talked about, matchup fatigue, and not everybody wants to see the same teams 4 times in a row. You know who wanted to see the same team 4 times in a row? Drew Doughty. He wanted to beat that team. He wants to beat this team very badly. So he's really motivated. But it's a tough ask for this team because they're behind the 8 ball, and the plays got progressively worse. Right? You can argue that, 3 and 4, they were the better team. Yeah. They couldn't find a way to win, but certainly not in Game 5, and that's a big concern now because if they fall behind, then what do you do? So I think if you're the Kings here, if I'm a fan and I'm sitting home in LA watching this game, I want my team to go down swinging. I don't want this passive stuff. I don't want to sit back at all. I want to be aggressive on my forecheck. I want to try to pressure the bottom four defense. And I want to be able to, maybe somebody should throw a punch.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be honest with you. I was going to say, what elements of the game have to change for the Kings? Are we going to see Jim Hiller use more of his lineup, or are we going to see him try to attack and not get back into that trap of holding? If they have a lead, sitting back, like when you brought it up and he had that little moment with you, like what do you think? Is there a strategy change here, TB?
I don't think you can play your fourth line 2 minutes. I think you have to roll 4 lines, and if you get caught in a matchup where it's, Turcotte, Helenius, and Malott up against Connor Leon and Kane or Hyman, you take your chances for those 30, 45
Have they been
seconds.
that bad or untrustworthy? That's the thing.
And that's how they got to the lead, and that's why they were like 17-5 down the stretch.
Right.
By rolling 4 lines, by throwing it, there's a lack of trust here. When you go 9-4 in that fourth, you can't do that. You can't. It's going to come back to bite you, and it did. That's Monday quarterbacking when you say it burnt them. You got to play your game and not worry about how they're playing their game. And I'm kind of going to eat, because if you don't believe that you can score on this team, and I still believe that they think they can, then win a game 5-4, win a game 4-3. They did it in how many games? Scoring is not an issue for this team, right? They're afraid of getting burnt defensively. Mm-hmm. But they score a goal. I'll give you an example. The goal that Connor Brown scored off that great feed from Evander Kane. 8-9 seconds later, the Kings came back and scored a goal.
Yep.
So if they do score on you're going to get opportunity. I think what they've lost focus of, Tom, they will get chances, except for game 5. They will get chances against the Edmonton Oilers defense and goaltending. And can they finish? Can they do that? They can. So I think you got to go back to the formula that got you to the playoffs, that got you the leads in these series, and play 60 minutes the entire same way, not play 40 minutes one way and 20 minutes another.
Okay, we've seen some interesting games. We've seen a lot of comebacks from the Oilers. We've seen a lot of high-scoring matches in this series through 5. A little bit different, obviously, in game number 5. What do we see tonight? Are we going to see another similar game to Game 5, or are we going to see something where it's more freewheeling like we saw in Games 1 and 2 and even 3 to a certain extent? Or is this going to be a batten down the hatches type of night?
I think Game 5 was the game that went under in the goal total.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that way, because I don't think the Kings will play that way. I don't think – you really think they can beat the team 2-1? I don't think they can do it unless Darcy stands on his head again. And I will say this, and I've said this a couple of times, they wasted heroic efforts from him last game and in overtime in and third period of Game 4. Mm-hmm. And Phil Deneau played a fabulous game in Game 4. If they had won that game, Phil Deneau was the number 1 start. They've wasted performances. They've played well. They played well for the majority of these 5 games, yet it's 2-3 against them. And if they go home without a win tonight, then, what next for this team? Right?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is it a wasted season?
It's not a wasted season because of the emergence of Quentin Byfield. Right. So it's not. Now, they got parts. And if you look at a really big picture of this team, if Quentin's a 1 seed, they're going to have to go get a 2 seed. Kobe's last year is next year. Phil Deneau is really a 3 seed. They're going to have to find the 2 seed of the future, which they don't have right now. But I was the one that said at the trade deadline, they needed to make a big swing. Mm-hmm. And they got Kuzmenko, and it worked for 20 games, but it's not working for the last 4 games. But that should have been Brock Besser. And I'll bring up the name because he might be a free. This is a team that should go give whatever money Mitchell Marner wants if he hits free agency to convince him to come to LA. So I think if they don't rally here, they're going to have to add another big-time player. If they could do that, 105-point team, if you added a really good player like a Brock Besser to another 30-goal scorer, you might win the division next year. So it's not like, okay, they have to scrap everything, but they have to add. And now there'll be questions about Rob Blake. 8 seasons, never won a playoff series.
Right.
Is he the right guy?
You know what? I saw him at the rink this morning. I saw Luc Robitaille wandering around a little bit after, and I wondered about that. If things go sideways tonight or potentially in Game 7, if they're still the guys that will lead the LA Kings franchise, I don't know. You know the franchise way better than I do, but I did have that thought.
Well, you know what happens in LA? When the building's half full, and the building's not half full.
Good point.
It's a corporate entity. They want to make money. They want to be a profit. And it's a very good team who went through a stretch of 1 very bad game and 2 very bad third periods.
Dennis Bernstein with us. DB, a couple more real quick for you. We'll go outside of this series because speaking of Mitch Marner and the Leafs, they're up 2-1 on Ottawa in the third period. 14 minutes remain there. 1-1, Vegas and Minnesota. We joke that Marner is going to have a great postseason with the Leafs and then walk
Right.
to like Utah. Maybe it does end up being LA. Your take on that series, and then the one that awaits the Kings or the Oilers, either mini or Vegas. What do you make of what we're seeing in these games that we're seeing tonight from those series?
Well, in the Pacific, credit Mini. They're hanging in. Vegas scored the first goal tonight. They found a way to tie it. That's going to help Vegas. Because if Vegas had walked through Minnesota in 4, it would not help in the next round. They're getting pushed. They're getting pushed pretty hard by a team that's a very different team with Eriksson Ek and certainly Kaprizov in there. And the Leafs series, I don't know. Even if they find a way tonight, Tom, the team waiting for them. You picking the Panthers over the Leafs in the next round?
No, yes, I am.
You are.
I would take the Panthers over the Leafs,
exactly.
100%. Yeah.
Who's picking the Leafs next round?
Leafs fans.
Yeah. Toronto media, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. But no, you could see the way the Panthers play. They're ready, and that's another guy. If I was the Kings, I know you're deep at center. Sam Bennett. They need a guy like that.
I would like that.
I'd give that guy $8 million a year to punch people in the face. Then maybe next year it's Sam Bennett punching Evander Kane in the face in the fifth time around. Because it's probably going to be the fifth time around next year.
Well, bring it on.
I already booked the JW for next April. Because I know it's going to happen.
You're coming back here in June, potentially.
Yes,
You're coming back here next year, this time of year. I mean, it's a rite of passage.
Next April for Kings-Oilers round 5, which I'm sure nobody wants to see, including Oiler fans.
Well, I'll tell you what. I love seeing you here because people around here love you. I love you. And it's a treat to have you on, DB. I can't wait to see you in the press box. And I thank you for your time. You know, we appreciate it.
It's always great being in Edmonton. I love the fans here. They've been great. They've been awesome to spar with, and you're the best, Tom. We love you.
Oh, there you go. There's Dennis Bernstein, our Kings insider. Yes, Hernan Salas. What do you got for me, buddy?
Why don't we throw to Brett Kulak here pregame, and we'll set up our next shot.
Awesome. Reid Wilkins standing by. Let's go to Brett Kulak.
Chances have cut down significantly as compared to early in the series.
Little adjustments along the way. Obviously, we got it outplayed pretty good and lost the first 2 games, but it's been impressive how the group's, made some adjustments, and we've kind of followed the script, and everyone's taken it upon themselves to be better, and I think that's been the case.
During the regular season, the D pairs would switch a lot, even in game, and we're seeing that now. Especially sometimes you're playing 5 defensemen. Doing that all season long, does it just make it easier to do as far as knowing guys' tendencies more because you've had chances to play a significant amount of minutes with different guys?
Yeah, exactly. We're familiar doing that. Like, we've kind of been training for it all season, so it's helped now in this situation. There's unpredictable injuries and things that have happened, so we've had to be able to adapt on that. And then just the way the series has gone, and you got to be able to play with everybody. And I think we've all been together long enough now, for the most part, that we know how each other plays, and so it kind of goes pretty easy.
The tradition of this series for 4 years now is the Kings win some games at the front end, and you guys tend to win some games at the back end. You guys are going to figure out how to play against the style and how to get it done. Is there some confidence in this room that this series is unfolding the way the past one?
Yeah, I think so. I think we just focus on ourselves, but like you say, you look at the past few years, and they take the first game or so and kind of take a handle on the series, but then we kind of make adjustments and we get better as the series gone on, and that's been the case this year too. Yeah, he's pretty much irreplaceable, really, and he's a difference maker every night that we've had him in the lineup, and you're just seeing that game after game, and he always steps up even another level in the playoffs. Yeah, I think I don't think it's always going to be his offense that makes him special for sure, but I think he takes a lot of pride in the D zone too. He doesn't want to be a guy who's just always ahead of the puck and ahead of the play looking for points. I think he knows the points are going to come. Just when he hits the puck, he kind of controls the play.
Their season's on the line. Expected that they're going to come out with some desperation. What would you like to see from your group, from the get-go tonight?
Yeah, I think the start's important. Like you said, they're going to have a push, and every closeout game is tough, and it's do or die for them. So they're going to leave it all on the ice. So we got to be able to match match that at least to start, and then just stay poised and take over the game.
Brett, you've played in 2 hockey mad cities. Compare like the playoff atmosphere and the pressure here at Edmonton to what it was like in Montreal. Would you say one is greater than the other?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say they're pretty equal. I mean, both fan bases are really supportive and want their team to win more than anything. So I think that's probably the thing that stuck out to me the most between Montreal and Edmonton. And you feel that in the locker room, and it adds extra passion to your game and the will to want to win for the fans.
There you go, Brett Kulak, and the will to win as Reid Wilkins joins us inside the Canadian Icehouse to get you set for game number 6 between the Oilers and the Kings. Edmonton up 3-2 in this series. Riedrich, let's get to a few texts first before we dive into Game Changers. You're filling in for Cass on Game Changers. Cass will be back for the post-game show. He is at the Hockey Helps the Homeless draft tonight, so part of a great cause. Peter says it's Pickard who is the difference maker in this series. The boys just play better in front of them, but that can go to Knobber for making the switch. Question of the night is, what has had the biggest impact on the series in the Oilers turnaround? Nat, so read out the question of the night one more time for the listeners and viewers, and then for Reid, obviously, too.
Reid, what's been the biggest reason for this turnaround? And I'm going to give you 4 options, Reid. I know you're probably going to go somewhere.
You can only go to the 4 options.
You can only go to 4 options, okay? 1, Chris Knobloch. 2, Jim Hiller. 3, Evander Kane, John Klingberg duo. 4, Calvin Pickard. What say you, Reid?
Oh, that's a good question. I would probably go Kane Klingberg because I was going to talk about them as part of Game Changers anyway.
That's a tease.
Yeah, I think that Kane has come back at pretty much full force of Evander Kane. Decent in Game 2 and then very, very good, if not excellent, since then. And Klingberg, I got to be honest with you guys, I'd written him off.
Same.
After that regular season. I mean, he maybe had a couple decent games in the regular season. Didn't look comfortable, did look slow. You could tell what he wanted to do, but he couldn't really do it. And now he's been quite strong, and I'll go back to the play he made to Kane to hold the puck in from 2 guys and spin off and get it right into the high slot for Kane for the goal. So I think those are all good choices, but if I only had to pick one, I would pick Kane and Klingberg.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you answered the question of the night. CB Radio Guy says, Bernstein is out to lunch. I normally love him and agree with his takes, but the Oilers dominated the whole Game 5, and they outplayed them in game from midpoint of the second. Game 1 could have gone either way. I don't think I agree that the Kings can't lose or can't close. They simply have not been great. Barry says option number 5, all of the above. Troy says finish royalty at home. Looking forward to watching the game in beautiful +20 weather in Calgary. What was the word from The Simpsons to murder?
Regicide.
Regicide, yes.
Yes.
You selected regicide. I was laughing when I was listening to that. Jake from Ontario texting and says, guys, I'm pumped for tonight. I have tomorrow off, so I won't be dead for work. Let's go Oilers. And then Scorpion from Ontario. That's a badass name if you're going by Scorpion.
Yeah.
Sending in a photo, says, checking in from China.
Oh, wow.
Wow, on tour with a band in Shanghai, listening to the pregame show. It's 9 a.m. here, and he's backstage. And he sent a picture he's got on his road
Hello,
kit.
Cleveland.
Hello, Shanghai. He's got a guitar sitting on a case, and it's got an Oilers logo on it, a lot of orange tape. I love it. Scorpion, who's from Ontario, listening in Shanghai. Put it on the map. What's China like?
For hockey? I don't know.
Just in general. Anyway, let's get to Game Changers with our analyst, Reid Wilkins. Game Changers, as always, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. David Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He's community-driven and understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Point number 1, Riedrich, break their spirit.
Well, we use the words belief and doubt a lot.
True.
When it comes to pro sports. And I do believe the LA Kings believe that they can win the series. The Oilers certainly believe it.
Yeah.
I think, like, sometimes you say the longer the game is still in question, maybe the more the favorite starts to doubt themselves. I think it's the opposite tonight. I mean, now that the Kings are behind, they're the underdog.
Yep.
And they're on the road. I think the longer this game is close, the more the Kings start to doubt themselves because they've blown leads and they've lost the close games in the series with the exception of game 1.
Right.
So I think the Oilers have to do what they've been good at, stay in it, stay patient, stay resilient, and just don't go away. And then it comes down to, do the Kings believe at this point in the series they can make the key play or get the big goal to turn a game in their favor? Because they haven't been the team doing that lately.
That applause and cheer and horn is for you, by the way.
Can you believe, if Ottawa wins this game,
they just tied it.
2-2.
That's what happened. And part of the cheer was for Reid, too. 2-2. The Sens have just tied it. 2-1, the Golden Knights lead. The Wild going into the intermission. And who got this goal here for those that are listening?
This might be challenged for a missed stoppage. Let's see.
What are we looking at?
Did he knock it down with a high stick or with his arm?
Or his glove. Might be with his glove.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Let's see who's got but was it a Kachuk goal? No, David.
Did he get
Perron.
another one?
David Perron from a terrible angle.
What a player, eh?
I mean, great hockey player. Good dude, too. I always appreciated his time. We'll see if we get a challenge. No challenge.
Okay.
Good goal.
Yeah, I just wondered because, they showed Berube, but the coaches always look down.
Of course.
Because people don't know the monitors are right by their feet.
Yes.
In the bench. That's one of the cool things. Like, we're lucky that when we've been down there. So the monitors are embedded in the bench by the goalie's feet, by the coach's feet.
They have 3 or 4 of them.
So that's why, if you're wondering why are they always looking down when they get scored on,
they've got like how big would that monitor be? Like 15-inch?
Yeah, it's not a huge one.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what they're looking at.
And then they're in touch with the video coach, too.
Yeah. Hernan, go ahead.
I'll just watch because I'm really delayed on my feed. It looks like if they would, it looks like it was it wasn't high stick. Because Reid, what is it again? Shoulder?
Yeah, shoulder for the stick. Yeah, unless it's a goal, then it's the height of the crossbar, which still confuses a lot of people. But
it seems like he got it right under the shoulder. That's why they didn't challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. Scorpion from Ontario also responding says, no chicken balls here. I'm disappointed. He's in Shanghai.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, because most of the Chinese food we eat in Canada is very westernized, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not true Chinese food.
Right.
Scorpion also adds, it's pretty wild here.
How did you get that beep?
It's just programmed into our board.
What's this one do?
Don't, because it has swears.
Okay.
Yeah, but like this board's pretty good. There's also like.
Oh, you have all that stuff.
Oh yeah, we have that stuff. That's how I have it. But
Very proud of you.
Thank you. Yes, I like to use the bleep because people do swear when they text in. Okay, let's go to point number 2 of Game Changers. Game Changers is always brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Enter Sandman.
Be closers. Ooh. Mariano Rivera, famous former Yankee, always entered to enter Sandman. That's correct. Been the Oilers' skate-out song, I think, for at least 4 years.
Yeah.
Did Mike Smith like it? Is that why they picked it?
I have no idea.
Somebody liked it.
They used to come out to that Demi Lovato song.
I don't remember that one.
Then they switched to Enter Sandman, which
much more imposing.
I like
Maybe
it way
a little more cliche, but much more imposing.
Yeah.
So be closers. Have that mentality, and I think they do. But end it tonight. Don't give the Kings a chance to get into a one-game showdown on home ice. Right. Don't give the Kings a chance to feel good about themselves going back to their rink. And I was talking about this on my show with Jay this afternoon as well. The value of a couple days off as opposed to going to a Game 7 and flying and staying in a hotel and all that kind of stuff. And even if Vegas wins tonight and it's the same amount of time off, still the Oilers are getting some time off. Like if they win tonight, probably the coach says, don't bother coming in tomorrow. Stay at home. Maybe some guys might come in for treatment if they need it.
No, just stay home because I don't want to go there. I don't want to be at the rink either.
Catch up with your families or kids or sleep all day or do whatever you want. And then maybe even Saturday would be a day off or a quick skate or meetings or something like that. So have that closer mentality. And what I liked, the one thing that McDavid said after Game 4 was, when they were down, he said, we could have thought, it's not our night. I guess we'll be down 3-1 and we'll have to try this amazing rally.
Right.
They were like, no, we got to win this game. Like we got to win this game. So I'm not really doubting the Oilers will feel that way, but I do think that's important. Come out with that foot on the throat mentality.
Channel your Mariano Rivera within. All right, point number 1 was break their spirit. Point number 2, enter Sandman. Point number 3 on Game Changers tonight with Reid Wilkins, K-Club.
Well, and that's Kane and Klingberg in contrast with the Ks that we were talking about at the start of this series, Kuzmenko, Kopitar, and Kempe.
Right.
Who still have been pretty good, even though the last game was quieter for them. Now the Oilers guys with the last name starting with K, neither of whom played game 1, Kane and Klingberg, have been very, very good and have sort of they've been a key reason why the Oilers have taken control of this series. And then I'll use another guy has the K as the final letter of his last name, and that's Janmark, who has played every game and scored in game 1 and scored in game 5, and got the big game-winning goal in game 5 on just a play. And Jay and I talked about this yesterday. The way they celebrated and went to Arvidsson before they went to Janmark, it was almost like, okay, we're going to get it over the blue line, and we're going to take a slap shot, and we're just shooting for, like, the way Arvidsson shot it.
Yep.
He did, like, because he takes such wild shots.
He shoots from
sometimes.
everywhere.
But that one, it was almost like, I'm just going to guide it on net and hope the rebound pops out there. And then you could see the way they celebrated. It was almost like the gleeful little kids, like, oh, it worked. So, but so that whole line, but I'll focus on Janmark because he got the game winner. And I know he's like this lightning rod for criticism, but I'm kind of like, well, what do you like? He's a fourth liner. Yeah, I know. Knobloch never took him out of the lineup. Well, I mean,
he's scoring big goals in the playoffs. He's got 2 already. Big one the other night. I mean, that's why I have him like ranked 13th or 14th every year in the rankings of importance in September.
Yeah, he's good. He does his job. He's one of those role players that knows his role. And that was very important.
He does it effectively for the most part. Not great sometimes in the regular season, and then
fair enough.
In the playoffs, he finds another level.
He does seem like a different player.
Yeah, he did that. I remember when I started to notice that with him, it was when he was with the Dallas Stars during the bubble year. And I was like, this Janmark, well, he looks like such a mutt out there.
Yeah, I know. That's why I know his nickname's the janitor, but I always call him, he's like a wild animal.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's feral.
It's like, hey, there's the raw meat.
Yeah, there he is.
To go get it. But I also think that's an important goal. Look, players are team players, but they're also selfish. I'm sure neither Podkolzin nor Arvidsson were thrilled losing Draisaitl as a center.
Yeah,
they had most of the season, and then they had Nuge for a while too.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, we're fourth liners and we're playing less. Oh, but we scored. Like, that's got to energize them because we talk about everybody accepting their role. Mm-hmm. Hey, Arvidsson would love to. I'm sure Podkolzin maybe he's settled into where he should be.
I would hope so.
Arvidsson's probably like, hey, I've scored 30 goals. Like I was injured. Why am I not getting more of a chance? But now they have success on that line. And again, just that celebration, maybe that taking pride and like, hey, we're going to muck it up. We're going to be a fly in the ointment for the Kings. So you didn't expect it to score? Guess what? We just got the game winner.
How important is it that the power play has come to life? It went 0 for 2 the other night, but 2 for 2 in game number 3. 2 for 3 in game 4. The PK still not good. It went 3 for 3 the one night in game 4.
They got scored on last game, but I point to that big kill in the third period shortly after the Janmark scored. Yeah. That was a very efficient kill. It does look better. It does look like they're back to what they did in previous seasons with the way they pressure the puck and sort of force the attacking team to put the puck into certain areas of the ice that they prefer it to be for defending. So it's weird. Like the last game, the Oilers were -1 on special teams, but it almost felt like they won the special teams battle because of that late penalty kill. And the goal they scored was right after a power play with the second unit starting to apply the pressure. So the special team shift in general has been extremely significant.
All right, Reid, final one for you. What do you think happens tonight?
Well, I'm going to be optimistic. I think this Oilers team is I think their maturity and their resilience and their experience will lead them to close out this game. I do think it'll be difficult. As you know, I always expect tension, and I tell people to embrace the tension. I think the Kings are going to play with a lot of pride. But I just think the Oilers have been able to use more players, worn down the Kings, and now in a must-win, now Hiller really has to do what he's been doing the entire series.
He has to try
playing
everything.
his good guys. maybe even more than he already has. So I think that's going to bite the Kings again. I think the Oilers will put a lot of pressure on Kemper and force him to maybe try to steal the game. I don't think he'll be able to. I think Edmonton wins with a tense but rewarding victory.
Well, hopefully, if you're an Oiler fan, the team gives you cause to celebrate on what we like to call pre-Friday.
It is pre-Friday.
Pre-Friday.
It'll be a nice way to go into the weekend, so to speak, with a win tonight. And again,
absolutely.
I know people love Oilers hockey, and when there's days between games, they sometimes are like, oh, I need a game. I think everybody's fine with a weekend without games.
Yes.
If they can wrap it up tonight.
Yes. What did you order for dinner tonight?
I just got salt and pepper wings again. I do not think they are here, but I'm quite hungry.
All right. Well, you put in some good work and earned that dinner, so go get yourself a bite to eat, and I'll see you at the rink. Good stuff, and we'll catch up with you on the postgame show, too.
See you there.
You were great. Now get out of here. Right. There's Reid Wilkins with Game Changers, brought to you as always by Damon Bunting, Remax. Or not Remax, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting now with the agency. We're under the stairs here. For those that are watching, we switched the DJ, Sydney, and we switched locations because she wants more headroom. She stands on a riser. She's itty bitty, but it actually works out great. It's just I'm set up, Nanso, where I can clearly move in and out. And like DB and Reid have to go under the stairs and it gets lower, right? So I'm just like, I feel bad. But at the same time, I'll know for next time because we do anticipate that the Oilers will likely move on and we'll be here for round number 2. And it'll be great as always. But big thank you to the staff, Tian, Nikki, Liam, and everybody, Tia, Carly, Regan. You know what? It feels like old times. It's good to be back. Emma.
Good times. Just update.
Yes,
Leafs
please.
have taken the lead.
Damn
Patch
Leafs.
already, Tom, with just over 5 minutes. Now it's getting close to under 3 minutes. We'll hear a big round of applause or screams where you're at, Tommy, so it will ruin
They
it for
played
me.
the horn for the Leafs goal, too.
Yeah, they did.
Weird.
I thought, so I
Just
heard
thrown
it.
off
You
by
guys
that.
were in conversation. I thought Ottawa took the lead.
I looked up and it was Patch Red. I'm like, whoa, okay.
So it looks like the
I like
Leafs,
saying it's for
the Leaves are going to get it done, Tommy.
2:20 left in the third period. It is 3-2 Toronto, and then the other game's still in the intermission. The Golden Knights are up 2-1 after 2. And then also we have Dallas and Colorado. I wonder what's going to happen in that one. That one should be really good. Okay, we have to get to a new portion of the pregame show. It's Game Day Odds Check from our good friends over at Play Alberta, which is now the presenting sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. Big welcome to Play Alberta. This is an important deal, as Dusty has outlined for our station, and we're happy to partner with them. Met Jordan from Play Alberta earlier this week. Very nice guy, and both of us at EST, and it sounds like the crew, Jordan included, at Play Alberta, very excited for this partnership to grow and build. And I know, people are they were used to certain ways of doing things. Well, Play Alberta, and talking to Jordan and listening to him, it's only going to get better and better. And it comes with the input of our Nasties and our Discord, the DGen Den, and working with Dusty on the Lock Shop. So this is going to be a good thing. So we're going to do our Game Day Odds Check here on the pregame show. You can skip the flight to Vegas because jackpots are just a tap away. Experience all the thrills of the casino right from your phone with Play Alberta. Download the app today and deposit $20 using the EST exclusive promo code 100casino for a $100 casino bonus. That is EST exclusive promo code 100, so 100, and then the word casino, and you'll get a $100 casino bonus. Ooh, the Leafs just missed the empty net. People here going crazy. All right, so we're going to give you the money line, the puck line, and the total for tonight's game. I'm not a huge bettor. I have dabbled. Money line, Edmonton minus 157. The LA Kings 240 on it. I'm just going to double check it. Yeah, Edmonton 157 and the Kings 240. That's on the money line. The puck line, the Oilers at 2.3 and the Kings at 1.5. And then the totals, including overtime, for the Kings, the over 6.5, obviously, 2.0, and then the under at 6.5 for the Oilers, 1.72. I'm gonna have to get better acclimated with the puck line and the total. I'm more so used to the money line now, but that's something I have to go to school with Dusty on that one. He's gonna have to tell
That's
me
all good, buddy.
how to do it properly.
People are asking the bonus
I feel dumb.
code. Yeah, for the bonus codes, all caps.
All caps, yes.
Yes. So that way you get it
All
out
right.
of the way. And I've heard from a lot of people, Tommy, that were already, signed up. They're ready to go with Play Alberta.
Yep. There you go. We got the empty netter. It's over, unfortunately, for the Ottawa Senators.
Toronto.
It's over. Toronto's moving on. I signed up for my Play Alberta account today, and I downloaded the app. I'm ready to get going there. We're going to do a lot of great stuff with them. So that is a new portion of the pregame show. It is your odds check on game days with Play Alberta. Of course, that promo code, one more time, 100, the number, casino, all caps. You get a $100 casino bonus. It is an EST exclusive promo code. All right, let's go to some stats really quickly here, Nanso.
Yeah.
As we roll along on the pregame show. For the Oilers, we were talking about the special teams, and special teams have gotten a bit better. PK still has had its issues, but the special teams in general have been better. The penalty kill, 55.6. That's still the worst in the NHL in the postseason. Power play, 4 for 12 now at 33.3%. That has improved to second, only behind the LA Kings, who are at 44.4%, who are 8 for 18. For some reason, that's for the not the LA Kings, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Weird.
Who knocked off the Ottawa Senators. I know, and they had the horn going for the Sens, too. I'm not surprised. There's a lot of cheers for the Leafs. Interesting. The Kings PK, by the way, it has dropped to 14th, 66.7%. And this stat from the NHL. Anze Kopitar will aim to help force the third Game 7 between the Kings and Oilers, with the last one coming in the first of 4 straight postseason series. That was back in 2022. Kopitar has recorded 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points in 15 games played when facing elimination throughout his career, which is tied with Wayne Gretzky, who had 8 goals and 8 assists for 16 in 10 games played, for the second most in franchise history in that scenario. The list is topped by one Luc Robitaille, 9 goals, 13 assists. That is clutch. 22 points in 18 games played when facing elimination. And the NHL also threw this one out. I like how they give us the morning skate. They throw stats at us and give us little things to put out there. So the title is, will we get a 2025 first round Game 7? There has been at least one Game 7 in the first best of 7 round in 20 of the past 22 seasons, including 4 straight years, with multiple from 2021 to 2024. I'll tell you where there won't be a Game 7 between the Sens and the Leafs. And the Golden Knights are looking to snuff out any possibility of a Game 7 with the Minnesota Wild. That game going into the third period, the Golden Knights lead 2-1. Nanso, you got anything you want to get to?
Oh, it's an interesting night because a lot of teams up 3-2 can close it out. Vegas is leading. Toronto just did their work. Dallas can do it. Edmonton can do it. And then we can roll on. The only series left would be St. Louis, right?
Yeah, St. Louis. And then we'll see what happens, with Dallas and Colorado, like you mentioned. But I don't know, man. A lot of people had the Avs and really liked what they did with Blackwood and Wedgwood. It might not happen, man.
Yeah.
It might not happen.
Not everybody gets it right, man. I'm telling you. And, hey, is this the Leafs year, Tommy?
No. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves.
They get Florida, right?
They get Florida, and I think, Florida looks like it's just cranking it up right now. I thought Tampa, with its sneaky, strong second half to the season, was going to give the Panthers more of a run for their money, but the Panthers have just awoken. And
And
Yeah, I'd look out for Florida. Stolars, yeah.
Can he steal the series? He gains his former
Revenge
team
series. We'll see.
Everybody's chirping
shall see.
Cass. Cass
Why?
is fun because the Ottawa Senators.
He'll be just fine. Trust me.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he does hate the Leafs.
He does.
We do know this. All right, let's get to some text. 780-218-9999. Duffman giving me a lesson in our new game, our new segment. I appreciate that. I'm going to talk to Dusty because he's like, okay, you got to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, yes. Game day odds. So I'll talk to him tomorrow when I'm in the studio. Like, okay, break this down for me. Help me understand, not sound like a total moron. Thank you, Duffman. Maybe I should just go to the DGen den and read a couple of texts out of there. All right. Big Dave says, according to the billboard at the Southside Brewhouse, they play the horn for all Canadian teams, but it's twice as annoying when they play it for the Leaves. Well said, Big Dave. Norman at Combine texting and says, shout out to my boss today. Easy schedule of jobs since there is an Oilers game on. Let's go Oilers. And Juan texting in asking for the meow meow balls. Juan, that's not good.
Jeez.
Not good. And then Nature Boy texts and says, I always thought they looked down because they feel shame after a goal has been scored on them. That is the coaches who look in their monitors. All right. Keep those texts covered in 780-218-9999. Nanso, throw out the question of the night one more time, would you please?
Yeah. What is the biggest reason for the Oilers turnaround in this series? 1, Chris Knobloch. 2, Jim Hiller. 3, Kane Klimberg duo. Or 4, Calvin Pickard, CP. I'll keep talking to you, Tom. Are you good, Tom?
I'm good. I'm just talking to Reid really quickly. I was just grabbing Tian here from Icehouse. Reid, we need to get Reid fed. We got to get Reid fed. All right, we're going to go back inside the Oilers locker room. Let's hear from Leon Draisaitl. We'll get some more of your texts on the other side of Draisaitl as we roll along here at the Canadian Icehouse in Ice District on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show.
Nominated for the Hart Memorial Trophy at this point?
Yeah, it's an honor, obviously. There's a tremendous amount of great players that have been part of that and have won it in the past. So obviously proud to be in that conversation with some pretty amazing players. So I'm happy about it.
Do you wonder what those numbers might have been like with 11 more games to play this year?
I mean, you can ask that question probably for every player, right? Like that's guys miss games here and there. So yeah, maybe it would have been a couple more, but you never know.
Leon, I think the consensus was from a lot of the guys that talked after the game was that was the best game of the series, maybe the best game of the season for you guys. What did you think of the game, and how do you guys keep that going here tonight?
Yeah, I would definitely put it up there. It was one of our best games this year, just from top to finish, top to bottom, start to finish. I thought we were on it, we're at it, and obviously looking to bring that again tonight.
Darcy Kemper's played really well. Obviously, the last game, half of the other game as well, has been kind of on top of his game. And you're playing against a goalie who's playing at that level. What do you need to do to kind of get to him, basically?
Well, he's certainly playing well, but I think we have gotten to him. We've scored a lot. He's a great goalie. I mean, obviously, makes a lot of great saves and gives them a chance to win every night. So we're looking to continue that tonight.
When you have a team that push to the brink in your experience, do you see something a little different from them at times? Like, are you expecting a different push from them?
Well, they're going to try and play their best game. They have no choice, really, and we don't have a choice either. So we got to be ready for their best, and we have to make sure that we bring our best tonight.
Do you like the way you guys maybe had more sense of urgency early on? Is that something that will help you moving forward, and you can continue to find that?
Early on in games, obviously, the first couple of games we find ourselves in these holds early on games, and it takes a lot of energy to climb back into those. We've done a great job of that, but we're looking to start better, and I think we've been doing that the last 2 nights.
Leon, you guys are 5-0 in games 5 and 6 when you have a chance to clinch. The other team's going to bring their best, but you've had an ability to counter that. How much does that experience help you in a game like tonight, and what's been the key to success in the previous ones?
I think just not overthink the moment. This is another game in this series. 2 really good teams playing each other, 2 teams that know each other really well, and just, we believe that our best can beat anyone's best, and I think more often than not, if we're capable to getting close to our best, we're giving ourselves a good chance to win, and that's our goal for tonight.
In the last 5 periods, it's rare to have a team really control things. Usually the other team will get a momentum and they'll get some shifts here or there, but you guys have really dominated. How much confidence does that give you heading into tonight? And can you pinpoint why your team is like every line, every defenseman, every goalie has really been on there those last 5 periods?
Everyone's just been going, and filling in their roles, and when they're out there, attacking and having the right mindset. So it obviously helps a lot when you have 4 lines that are rolling and playing well. So we're just looking to continue that tonight, and obviously close them out.
Lots of talk about how it's a new series, new teams, some new players, but this series is going the way all the other series have gone. It's a toss-up early, and you guys figure some stuff out, and you start to pull away. Is there confidence in this room that you're seeing something you've seen before?
There's confidence in it for sure, but every series, every game starts at 0-0, right? So tonight we know they're going to have desperation. They're going to be, looking to bring their A game, and we have to match that, and then obviously bring our A game. And like I said, we believe that our best probably beats anyone's best, we're looking to do that again tonight.
Leon, what does it mean to be a Hart finalist?
You're late, hey? I answered that question already. No, it's obviously a big honor. Some tremendous players that have won it. To be able to be in that conversation with some great other players. It's a great honor. Very proud of it, and happy that I get to be a part of it.
I hope you didn't answer this one, but did the writers get it right and the players did this time?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You guys usually get it wrong, so.
The writers, not the TV guys.
Same thing.
Everybody's most lovable guy, Leon Draisaitl, I guess. Given the dishing it out to DNB, who got in there late. Who was that handsome devil over his right shoulder?
Who also came in late. You were getting
I couldn't
I love
hear anything
Leon because
anyway.
it's like he chirps the media now, but listen, he smiles and stuff, but it's not even like I'm kidding anymore. It's just like I'm gonna chirp you.
No, he means it. He's very sincere. I picked up on that. I've had a couple conversations about that with him, and that's who he is now. So it is what it is, and this time of year they don't really give 2 iotas anyway. Not that they really care during the season, and that's just fine. They're not our friends.
No, exactly.
They're not our friends.
They're not our buddies.
And if you think they are, you're sadly mistaken.
Yeah, but it's fair. It's fair because when Tom, for example, we do highlights, lowlights, and we're on a player. I always say it's not personal, guys. This is part of the gig. We got to break down the game. I don't know any of these guys personally. It's we talk about them on the ice, and that's what you do, and that's what every market does when it comes to NFL, MLB, soccer, or whatever. And I'll tell you this, Tom. In Europe and in South America, the media is a lot harsher than they are in North America. I'm telling you this for a fact.
Yep. I love the European media because they don't give a crap. They'll come after you. And you're just like, whoa! Here you would get the president of the team calling you and berating you and telling you what kind of piece of you-know-what you are and calling your editor and your boss, and they get so butthurt and sensitive. I've seen it. I have seen it. It is different, certainly, than over in Europe.
Different.
Yeah. Anyway, it's still fun getting to do what we get to do. We love it, and we're the conduit, if you will, between the team and the fan base. All right. Let's get to some texts. I want to get to this one. It comes in from Jason Milne. You might know him from the Reid Wilkins show.
Luka.
Yeah, from 3 to 6, Monday to Friday, right here on EST. Jay Milne says, can you ask Hernan if the Oilers win, will he sing La Bamba live from Hockey Helps the Homeless tomorrow?
You know, you don't want to overdo it, Tom. You know, you gotta know.
You were great yesterday. Like, you were outstanding yesterday.
You gotta know when to sing it. And you don't want things to get old fast, right? So I don't know yet. And there's gonna be a lot of Tom, Hemsky's gonna be there tomorrow. A bunch of old Oilers. I don't know if it's the best look to me if yelling out La Bamba.
No, that is a good point.
I don't know if that's the best look, but we'll see, man. We'll see how the day unfolds, because we'll all be down at Terwilliger Rec Center tomorrow for all the shows from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's going to be a good one. Dean McCammond too, Tommy, which is awesome. I'm a 90s Oilers guy, so that guy to me is if we can swipe him for our show, that'd be great.
Should swipe him for your show. Joaquin was telling a story about how they went to Bon Jovi together, and McCammon doesn't remember because of all the concussions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
He was fast, man. If people remember the 90s Oilers, he was a fast skater, played with a bunch of teams. His best years were Calgary and Edmonton. So, it'll be great to hopefully see him and then be able to chat with him for a bit there as well. Look at Reid.
Reid Wilkins saying goodbye. What are you doing? What's wrong, Reid? Talk to me. Do you want to leave your lunchbox right here? Yeah, just leave it here. Look at it. I'm big brother, but he's like my older brother.
Hey, is your brother there?
I'll see you later. You have to go from here over there into the arena. Show your accreditation. He is laughing. All right, let's go back to the lines one more time. The lineup brought to you by South Fort Chev. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. Check them out. All right, for the Oilers, Chris Knoblauch starting with the same group that got the win in Game 5. That is McDavid with Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, Draisaitl with Puckholzen and Arvidsson, Henrique with Kane and Brown, Janmark with Frederick and Perry, Nurse with Emerson, Kulak with Bouchard, Wallman and Klingberg together. Calvin Pickard starts in net. I'm waiting for confirmation on King's lines. I haven't seen any from Bernstein or Dooley just yet. I'm waiting for the email from the league, because usually they send it to us. Have you seen anything, Hernan?
No, I'm just doing a search once more here to see what we can get, but nothing yet. And it's kind of late that no one's.
I know.
Maybe the Kings media has been told not to tweet them out.
They've embargoed their lines.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, because they're only going to play 9 forwards and 4.5 D anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what Eric Stevens has. Iceman, my boy.
The Iceman.
He's a good dude. No, he just has a picture of them. I mean, nobody's putting out lines. Good stuff, guys.
Right in the Pine says, tonight we singing, bro. All right.
Oh, I like that.
I
like that very, very much. Okay, here we go. Dooley, finally. Kopitar with Kuzmenko and Kempe. Byfield with Fiala and LaFerriere. Danault between Fogle and Moore. Hellenius with Malott and Turcotte. Anderson with Doughty. Gavrikov with Spence. Edmondson with Brandt. Darcy Kemper, of course, starts in goal, coming off his best performance, despite the fact that it ends up being a loss. Big thank you to Zach Dooley, good dude, Kings Insider as well. He is the official Kings Insider for the team, whereas Bernstein is the OG Insider. You know what I'm saying? We got some text to get to, 780-218-9999 as we get set for Game 6 here. I like this one. Scorpion from Ontario, who's texting in from Shanghai.
Wow.
Says, Tommy boy, I tech for Alessia Cara, Arkells, and the Reclaws. If we are in town and you boys want to come to the show, let me know. Yes, we will take you up on that, Scorpion, because I'm a big Arkells fan. The Reclaws are lovely. Alessia Cara is great at the Grey Cup. She's got some bangers. Concerts are always fun. That kind of thing's awesome. So, Scorpion, we will definitely take you up on that. I did meet Max Kerman from the Arkells, lead singer, at a private Oilers Hockey Hall of Fame event in 2018. he's very tight with Paul Coffey, and he's a super nice guy. Great guy. We talked about Canadian music, and very down to earth. I enjoyed my chat with him, and the Arkells have kind of nobody's ever going to replace the Tragically Hip, but there's always like that go-to Canadian band, right, for a decade or two. And it kind of, to me at least, feels like Arkells have kind of slid into that a little bit.
Okay.
Not everybody loves them, and they're more of like a pop rock kind of thing, a little bit indie, but yeah, they kind of, at least I think everybody kind of knows an Arkells song or two, right?
I'd probably have to. Yeah, I don't know if I would, Tom, but
I guarantee you would. I would play a couple and be like, "Oh, I've heard this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always go back to that day here on a Saturday, and you were playing some good tunes before we went on for pregame show. It was an early Saturday game.
Oh,
I was really intrigued by your musical choices. Like, I was impressed. I was like, "You like this kind of music?" You're like, "Yeah." You were kind of dancing. I can't remember what it was, but it was great tunes.
I just do me, whatever it is. I like a whatever.
Well, it's like
I hate country though.
It's like Maddie today. I'm just sitting here prepping for the show, and I hear reggaeton, which is Spanish music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Where's that coming from?" And so we go, "Maddie, are you listening?" He goes, "Yeah." He's like, "I just found this guy on Spotify, Ozuna, and he's really good." I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's
really
awesome. Yeah, it was cool."
I've also heard Maddie listening to like jazz in there. I'm like, "Oh, gross, Matthew."
Yeah, jazz.
Turn this crap off.
You don't like heavy metal either, do you?
I don't mind it, but I'm not diving into it and being like, "Well, let me wake up with this music." I'm more of like an indie rock kind of guy. That's my jam.
You're a big Killers guy, right?
Love the Killers since
Have
day
you seen
one.
them live?
Multiple times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen them all 3 times they came through Edmonton. They haven't been here since like 08 or 09. They played Rexall Place twice, and they played the Conference Center once. I saw them Conference Center when they were just on the way up, and then a couple times at Rexall, and they haven't been here since, which is unfortunate. I thought about going and seeing them in Vegas last year. Didn't happen, unfortunately. I'll see them again. They're great. Okay. Let's get to a couple more texts here now. So we got a couple minutes before we wrap things up. Mike in Thunder Bay texting in says, "I was going to say Hiller to the question of the night, but I think the answer is Knobloch. Hiller got cocky when the Kings had a chokehold on the series, but Knobloch remained calm and forced Hiller to make errors. Knobloch knows McDavid and Draisaitl are freaks and have rotated them well and ran his lines, which has forced Hiller to run his bench short. Exhausting his team, not challenging the interference was brilliant by Knobloch. Showed the Oilers are not in a panic. His calm demeanor has rubbed off on this team, and they are in the zone and focused." Mike in Thunder Bay, great text. Appreciate that very, very much. Norman at Combine says, "Tom, don't come to our anniversary. It's country music." Norm, I will be there for the Combine crew because I love you guys very, very much. You guys are awesome. You're near and dear to our hearts at EST. And I don't have to listen to it, even though it's being played. And new country, Hernan, is just pop with a fiddle. It's pop music with a fiddle. That's what new country is.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's not good.
No. Oh, Scorpion from Ontario also texts for Nelly Furtado.
Oh.
Who does some Spanish tunes that the Latino Heat would like.
Yeah, because I think she's Portuguese, so she speaks obviously Portuguese in Brazil, and I think she speaks Spanish as well. She was fantastic back in the day, man. In my 20s, great artist,
Maneater, right? And then she did that one song with who was it? Who was that Canadian band? The rock or not rock band? The Canadian rap band with Mocha only, Swollen Members. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Rob from LA chiming in says, "I've watched the 2 Oiler wins from Austin, Texas. Now I'm ready to watch them win Game 6 from Phoenix. Connor and Leon dominate to the Oilers' victory. Let's go." Rob from LA, go check out Squid Ink in Peoria if you're on that side of town in the northwest. Yes, and get the Sake Bombers. Highly recommend. It's sake into warm Kirin beer. 2 of those and you'll be primo. Great wings there too, and edamame beans. And then obviously sushi if you're into that type of thing. All right. Nanso, some final thoughts from you as we get set to wrap things up.
Let's go, baby. Clinch game. See what the LA Kings bring, if they change anything up. But I'm pretty confident it's going to be a nice and fun and excited post-game show, Tom. Vamos!
Vamos! Hernan says, let's go. Great vibe here at the Canadian Icehouse. Shout out to Atif and Francis for being here. Good to see them. And some other nasties. Oh, boy. We're going to have a lot of fun if the Oilers win here at the Canadian Icehouse. It's pre-Friday, and the only thing that could make it better is Edmonton clinching this first-round series against the Los Angeles Kings. The Ottawa Senators have been eliminated by the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then really quickly, another out-of-town score update. Still 2-1. The Golden Knights lead the Wild. 9 minutes left there. We'll see if we're talking about an Oilers series clincher right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. Join myself, Matt Cassian, and Hernan Salas, as well as Reid Wilkins, following the end of Game 6 between the Oilers and the Kings. For the Latino Heat and Reid Wilkins, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thank you to Dennis Bernstein. Thank you to everybody who watched, everybody who listened, and we will catch up with you on the post-game show. Enjoy Game 6. We'll see if the Oilers get it done. Ciao.